Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. My name is Kiris. I am starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Welcome and thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, September 21st. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. This Sunday, September 21st, we are starting off the week with a solar eclipse, new moon at 29 degrees Virgo. Now, the new moon solar eclipse is when something is eclipsed out of our life. This new moon solar eclipse in Virgo is the second eclipse. We had the full moon Pisces eclipse, the lunar eclipse, and today we are starting off the week with the solar, which is the sun eclipse. Now, the 29 degrees is the ending degree of each sign of the zodiac. The sun and the moon lining up together make an opposition to Saturn retrograde in Pisces at 29 degrees. Now, Pisces is the last ending sign of the zodiac. The eclipse is at the ending degree of each sign of the zodiac as well. Now, Virgo and Pisces, this is the health axis. Pisces and Virgo is the well-being and health of our body, mind, and soul. It connects to the 6th and 12th house in everyone's astrology chart. An eclipse is a loss of light. An eclipse eclipses something out of our life. So these eclipses that we've been having and how we are starting off this week is to eclipse out of our lives what is hurting our heart. Where there is no love, leave. This is a solar eclipse, meaning the sun, the heart, the center of our being. And all roads lead back to the heart. Everything having to do with health has to do with the heart at the center of it. So again, this ending yet new beginning, it's a new moon, this ending yet new beginning is being on the path to eclipsing out of your life what is hurting your heart, your well-being, and where there is no love, leave. When all is said and done, the only thing that matters is love. We also have today the moon in Virgo ruled by Mercury, making an inconjunct aspect to Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries ruled by Mars. This is the cosmos highlighting for us little adjustments and details that mean so much always in connection to your identity, how you want to look, your sense of I am. This is Aries in Chiron, the wounded healer, wherever you want to add in or take away something that is or isn't authentic for you, especially in the area of your style, your image, your appearance. This is Aries. This is what the cosmos is highlighting with this aspect. Later on in the day, we have the moon moving into cardinal air Libra, which wants to initiate a new style of communication. This is the element of air. The moon in Libra makes an opposition to Neptune in Aries ruled by Mars, an air trine flow to the planet Uranus in Gemini, and an air trine flow to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. The moon in cardinal air Libra has an emotional need to initiate conversations that bring peace of mind, harmony, and balance. These aspects involving the moon in Libra and the other air sign placements with the new moon is a fabulous cosmic time to initiate peace and negotiations in your private, personal world and relationships, and also on a global scale. We also have the lesser malefic, the planet Mars, which is the planet of war and aggression at the ending degree of Libra, which is its detrimental weak placement. As Mars is getting ready to change signs tomorrow, this is yet another cosmic highlight that it is a time to negotiate peace. Monday, September 22nd, we now have the lesser malefic, the planet Mars, entering its domicile placement in fixed water Scorpio. This is the strongest, most effective, best placement for the planet Mars. Mars at home in fixed water Scorpio does everything possible and has the patience and persistence to avoid aggression and war. Mars in fixed water Scorpio is long and strong. It's very honorable when it is in its home sign of Scorpio to avoid, if at all possible, to do anything and everything possible to make peace, not war, unlike Mars in its detrimental placement of Libra. Mars in Libra is disturbing the peace. Mars now entering Scorpio is about making peace and having the patience and persistence to achieve this goal. Mars in its home sign of Scorpio is highlighting for us on a personal level that whatever it is that you may have been going through, whatever it is that you may be going through right now, that with patience and persistence, hang in there. You have this power. You were born with it. Stay the course, because patience and persistence, it will pay off and you will achieve your ultimate goal and success. We are also at one of the 4 crossover points of the year with the autumnal equinox, the sun's the solar ingress into cardinal air Libra. As we enter the autumn season, the sun falling into the sign of Libra is when we lose 3 minutes of light per day on our journey toward the winter solstice. This is the balance that Libra, represented by the scales of justice and balance, is bringing into our awareness. The outer sunlight conscious awareness of activity, yet at the same time balancing that out with the inner reflective moving towards the winter solstice time of year. We also still have the moon in cardinal air Libra on this Monday, making a conjunction coming together with Mercury in Libra. The emotional need to initiate conversations about peace of mind, togetherness, connection. This is the moon conjunct Mercury in the sign of peace and harmony, ruled by Venus, which is Libra. Tuesday, September 23rd, keep it light and try to roll with the changes, because the cosmos is highlighting for us that plans definitely will change, and just go with it. We have the sun in Libra now making an opposition to Neptune in Aries. The moon in Libra makes a square to Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Also, the moon in Libra makes an opposition to Chiron in Aries, ruled by Mars, and the sun in Libra is making an air trine flow to the planet Uranus in Gemini. This is when the plans are not firm, so expect the plans to change. The sun in Libra is also making an air trine flow to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. This is yet another reversal of the plans changing and shifting. The moon in Libra makes an inconjunct aspect to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So Tuesday, which is Mars's day, is a highlight from the cosmos that whatever plans you thought were set in stone, all of this air and the air trine flows are very supportive of being spontaneous and just rolling with the changes, going with it. If and when in life, not only on this day today, but if and when in life you are being redirected, you thought the plans were set in stone, they're not. This is when you know that the universe has something waiting for you that is more beneficial and something that is really going to make your mind, heart, and soul happy and filled with gratitude. Wednesday, September 24th, we start off the day with Mars in Scorpio making an inconjunct aspect to the planet Uranus in Gemini. This is the adjustments and changes needed to communicate something very precisely and clearly. The moon then falls into fixed water Scorpio and makes an inconjunct aspect to Neptune in Aries, also ruled by Mars. The moon in Scorpio makes an inconjunct aspect of adjustments to the planet Uranus in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. Mars in Scorpio then makes a square aspect to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. The moon in Scorpio also makes a square aspect to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. The moon in Scorpio then makes a conjunction to Mars in its home sign of Scorpio. The moon in Scorpio makes a sextile aspect of opportunity to Venus in its fall placement of Virgo, ruled by Mercury. The astrological alchemy of the blending of all of these aspects is how to communicate very intense, deep emotions. This is the Mars in Scorpio. How to communicate effectively and positively all of the emotions that you're feeling in such a way that a positive outcome can take place. The blending of the water in the air, and the passionate moon in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio, which is deep and intense, trying to make these adjustments to air and fire placements with Venus in its fall placement is feel your feelings, of course, but how, when, and where to communicate them and or take action on how you feel is all of the adjustments that the cosmos is highlighting for us today. In other words, with Mars in Scorpio, be patient, take your time. I always say feel your feelings, but it may not be the right time to express and act on these very deep emotions. Thursday, September 25th, we still have the moon in fixed water Scorpio, making a water trine flow to Jupiter, exalted in the sign of cardinal water Cancer. This highlights again for us that the emotions are strong and the ease, the trine factor, is very supportive in the sense of Jupiter exalted in Cancer, Jupiter being the greater benefic, the guardian angel, the protector, the ability to see the positive. This is Jupiter, the positive and the humor in things. This is Jupiter, our guardian angel, protecting us and guiding us as far as deep, intense emotions, but Jupiterian, look at the bigger scope, the bigger picture. It will have a positive outcome, and also always when we can look and feel at certain things with a sense of humor and positivity about it all, big picture. This is how Jupiter is being our guide with this trine flow involving the moon in Scorpio. The planets Mars and Jupiter are great cosmic friends, and they're supporting and helping each other out in the sense of what needs to be felt and what needs to be communicated, but in a much more supportive, friendly style. Friday, September 26th, we still have the moon in Scorpio making a water trine flow to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. The trine flow is supportive between the feelings, the intense moon in Scorpio ruled by Mars, and Saturn retrograde in Pisces, which is saying, what are you going to build as far as all of this emotion? What will you build with all of this emotion? What foundation, what structure? This is Saturn retrograde in Pisces. The dream, the vision, this is Saturn in Pisces. What are the building blocks? How will you channel and create something solid and positive as a structure, perhaps as a business? This is Saturn retrograde in Pisces with all of the intense passion and emotion that you have. Later on in the day, the moon changes signs and moves into mutable fire, Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. This is a very positive and optimistic placement. It's about setting the long distance goal. The moon in Sagittarius makes a fire trine flow to Neptune in Aries, then in opposition to the planet Uranus in Gemini, a sextile to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and the moon in Sagittarius makes a sextile to the sun in its fall placement of cardinal air Libra. This is the expectation of the best is yet to come, which it is. The moon in Sagittarius with this sextile to the sun is helping to elevate, to lift up the sun in Libra, which can be indecisive. The positivity, the confidence of the moon in Sagittarius is helping out these planetary placements as far as look to the future, look past the boundaries and limitations, because the best is yet to come. This is what the moon in Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter is being highlighted for us. And always, because it's the moon, this is an emotional need, a part of your emotional body to see and know that brightness is ahead, that the best is on its way. We need that emotionally as well as physically. Saturday, September 27th, start making your holiday plans and budgeting ASAP. We have the moon in Sagittarius making a square aspect of action to Venus in its fall placement of Virgo, ruled by Mercury. The moon in Sagittarius just wants to go whole hog when it comes to the holidays, and always. Sagittarius is associated with Santa Claus, Christmas, gifts, blessings, just the holiday season overall. And we know with Sagittarius does not recognize boundaries. It's Jupiter ruled. It will just keep going and going. Now the square to Venus in its fall placement of Virgo, ruled by Mercury, is saying stop, think for a moment, plan things out before it gets way out of hand, which can be the tendency that we all do during the holiday season. So making the plans as far as the budgeting, the spending, the traveling. This is the moon in Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter. The working out of what relatives will be going to what house, that kind of thing. Just start the plans now. We just had the new moon, and it is wonderful to get on the scheduling and what is going to happen for the holidays, making the plans, getting it all settled and scheduled, or at least initiating this with the new moon, initiating this process. This week in astrology starts off with all of us knowing that it is a time for change. Something new has to be initiated and negotiated with the solar ingress into the sign of Libra midweek with the moon in Scorpio. That is intense emotion coming up. But as we close out the week, the energy lightens up with the moon in Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter exalted in Cancer, which is home, family, love. It's a really good, happy, positive vibe, looking towards the future, going into the holiday season. And as we start to make the holiday plans, that is also something that brings great happiness and joy that is on the way. Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous week. I will see you all in the stars.